We wish to thank the Atlantic Refining Company, sponsors of the Yale-Columbia football game, for delaying their broadcast time until the conclusion of this World Series game. We take you now to the Municipal Stadium in Cleveland.
Look sharp, feel sharp, be sharp. Use Gillette Blue Blades with the sharpest edges ever honed. Gillette's Cavalcade of Sports is on the air. From Municipal Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio, Gillette presents the exclusive play-by-play report of the fourth game of the 1948 World Series between the Boston Braves and the Cleveland Indians. Good afternoon, baseball fans everywhere. This is Jim Britt with Mel Allen, greeting you for the Gillette Safety Razor Company. For the tops in sports, tune in Gillette's Cavalcade of Sports the year around. Over various networks, Gillette airs events of national interest as they occur throughout the sports calendar. Also, every Friday night, Gillette broadcasts the major boxing event of the week for fans coast to coast. Johnny Sain and Steve Gromek, two right-handers, one from Belleville, Arkansas, the other from Detroit, Michigan, will face each other today in the fourth game of the World Series of 1948. With Cleveland leading 2-1 on the strength of consecutive pitching performances by Bob Lemon and Gene Bearden, Billy Southworth had no other choice but his ace. Gromek, not one of the Indians' 3 frontline hurlers, has won 9 regular season games. In some quarters hereabouts, Southpaw Sam Zoldak was favored for the Indian starting role today. But since the bulk of Boston's batting strength is believed to be right-handed, Gromek was a logical choice. Here in Cleveland, on the shorefront of Lake Erie, the same brand of baseball fever that attended the Indians' first 1920 victory over Brooklyn is again in evidence. The sports pages, the radio loudspeakers have carried messages of optimism ever since Gene Bearden's 5-hit shutout of yesterday. The Braves are quiet, a little on the grim side, but confident that Johnny Sain has what it takes to turn the tide. One Brave, pitcher Red Barrett, who has relieved on successive days, stopped me in the hotel coffee shop this morning. Red pointed somewhat scornfully to a Cleveland headline, which characterized the Braves as Humpty Dumpty hitters. Humpty Dumpty, he snorted. Cleveland's team batting average for the series so far is 167, and ours is 166. Actually, while some of the observers declare that both teams are in one of the most dismal batting slumps of modern World Series history, it's just as logical to conclude that the pitching is responsible. In 26 innings, the Indians have collected only 17 hits. In the same number of frames, the Braves have banged out 15. A total of 32 hits, only 5 of them for extra bases, in 52 opportunities for the rival clubs. And the old-timers ask, old-timers like Cy Young, who is here, how long has it been since none of the first 3 World Series games produced either a 3-base hit or a home run? Pitching, they insist, and who can doubt it? One oddity of the series is that yesterday's crowd was not capacity, and at game time, some of the citizens who doubtless classed the purchases of World Series tickets as a solid investment were disposing of them, and good locations too they were, for as little as 50 cents. Today's crowd is a bigger one. Tomorrow's is likely to be largest of all. Few cities have been as baseball mad as this one, and no city in the history of baseball has ever seen such huge attendances as Cleveland in a single season, this season. It's a fine park, but the battle cry of the Indians is still, the series won't go back to Boston. Notwithstanding that, the Braves specials are scheduled to leave here tomorrow night for the Hub at 6 o'clock with a 6th and possibly a 7th series game in mind. The top batting star of the series has been Larry Doby, the Indian center fielder. He comes from Norwalk, Ohio. He has collected 4 hits in 11 trips for an average of 364. The only other Clevelander who tops the 300 mark is pitcher Gene Bearden. His single and double yesterday put him atop all the players with a mark of 667. Mike McCormick, the Braves' center and left fielder, is the top Boston batter to date. His 3 hits in 10 trips average an even 300. But most of his teammates are far below him. Only Eddie Stanky with 2 out of 7 is close. The accent, as noted earlier, has been on pitching. The pitching has been brilliant. Defensively, in addition to the pitching, Cleveland has a wide edge. The Indians have made only one misplay. The Braves have made 6, all of them in the infield. One of them got Bickford into trouble yesterday, set the stage for the Cleveland first run. But Bearden, who has yielded only 1 earned run through his last 38 innings on the mound, would have chalked up a 1-0 triumph even without the aid of that 3rd inning miscue. The Braves' relief pitching has been superb. 3 hits in 9 1/3 innings. That's par for any course in the relief department. As for the Indians, all 3 pitchers, Bob Feller, Bob Lemon, Gene Bearden, have gone the route. Percentage, insists Billy Southworth, is against Steve Gromek's finishing. But in a short series such as a World Series, percentage has oft-time failed to assert itself. 11 of the Braves have struck out so far, 10 of the Indians. 6 of the Braves have reached first base on bases on balls, and 7 of the Clevelanders have done so. And as noted earlier, the Indians have chalked up 4 double plays to the Braves' 2. The condition of the outfield today is extremely poor. Cleveland was belted all of last night by a driving rain. It's quite muddy on the outskirts of the left field and right field foul lines, and in conversations with the Cleveland outfielders, men like Dale Mitchell, Allie Clark, Larry Doby, Walt Judnick, they informed me that the outfield was tricky, treacherous, slippery, and that before the day ended, if any hard runs and fast starts and stops were required for fielding purposes, we were quite likely to see someone go down. Out in center field, the Marine Color Guard and the band are massed below the flagpole to the left, and very shortly we will have the flag-raising ceremonies. Incidentally, Larry Doby was high in his praise of Hal Newhouser, the Detroit left-hander. I asked him about the batting background here at Cleveland Municipal Stadium, and he complained about the shadows, pointing out that when a fast-ball left-hander, especially, like Hal Newhouser, throws the ball out of the sunlight into the shadows, it's extremely difficult to watch him. I'll give you the batting orders with a word of explanation. Bill Salkeld, the Boston catcher, injured a groin muscle and probably will not be able to play through the series' remaining games. Here's the way the 2 teams will take the field. For Boston, Holmes, right field. Dark, shortstop. Torkelson, first base. Elliott, third base. Rickert, left field. Mike McCormick, center field. Macy will catch. Stanky, second base. And the pitcher will be right-handed John Sain, whose season's record included 24 victories and who won a 1-0 shutout in the series opener against Bob Feller. He's a right-hander. For the Cleveland Indians, Mitchell, left field. Doby, center field. Boudreau will be at shortstop. Gordon, second base. Keltner, third base. Judnick, right field. Robinson, first base. Hegan, the catcher. And the pitcher, right-hander Steve Gromek of Detroit, Michigan, with a record of 9 victories, 3 defeats. This, by the way, will be his first mound appearance since the 19th of September, when he made his last start and hurled a 2-0 shutout over the Philadelphia A's. A big victory that, since on that day, Philadelphia dropped 2 to Cleveland, while the Red Sox were twice going down to defeat at Briggs Stadium in Detroit. The umpires will be Bill Grieve of the American League at the plate, George Barr of the National League at first base, Bill Summers of the American League will be at second base, Bill Stewart of the National League will be at third base, Babe Pinelli of the National League will be the left field foul judge, Joe Paparella will be the right field foul judge. The Cleveland crowd is on Bill Stewart because of the fact that he has figured in 2 close plays, both of which he unhesitatingly called against the Indians. Steve Gromek has finished his warm-up. Johnny Sane has not as yet finished his. And now out in the center of the outfield, the pre-game ceremonies are just about ready to get underway. There go the Clevelanders in their white home uniforms out on the field. Jim Hegan, a tall, rangy, right-handed catcher and one of the great catchers of modern times, is waiting for Steve Gromek. The national anthem. And now, having set the scene and given you the starting batting orders, with the Cleveland Indians leading 2-1 in the World Series of 1948, this is Jim Britt turning you over to your play-by-play reporter of the first 4.5 innings, Mel Allen.
Hello there, everybody. Before we get going, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
For the World Series and other top sporting events the year round, keep tuned to 710. This is WOR, New York.
Stephen Joseph Gromek, 28-year-old right-hander, born January the 15th, 1920 at Hamtramck, Michigan, which is a suburb of Detroit. Of Polish ancestry, entered pro ball as an infielder in 1939. And then, after hurting his arm, became a pitcher. And he's out there today making his first World Series start, hoping to keep the Indians on the winning side as they have been following opening day. On the other hand, the Boston Braves hope to make hay today while the sun is shining here in Cleveland. They believe that they have more base hits in their respective bats than they've indicated thus far. Tommy Holmes will be leading off.
For Boston, number 1, Tommy Holmes, the right fielder.
Tommy, a left-hand hitter. Steve Gromek, right-hand pitcher, all set. You've got Mitchell in left, Doby in center, Judnick in right, Keltner third, Boudreau short, Gordon second, Robinson first, Hegan catching. The umpires are waiting till the red-coated bandsmen clear the playing field before we get underway. Holmes steps up with a World Series batting average of .083. He's had 1 hit and 12 times at bat. Steve Gromek, he looks in to get the sign, starts the wind-up, and the first pitch of the ball game. And it's inside for ball 1. Billy Grieve of Yonkers, New York, calling balls and strikes. George Barr of the National League umpiring at first base. Bill Summers of the American League at second. Bill Stewart of the National League at third. Now the delivery. Holmes takes curve inside for ball 2. Joe Paparella of the American League, the alternate American League umpire, stationed down the right field foul line. And Babe Pinelli, National League alternate, is stationed down the left field foul line. Now the 2-0 pitch on its way. Tommy Holmes swings and lifts a high pop-up back of first. Joe Gordon goes out on the grass in short right. Coming in is Judnick under it, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Tommy Holmes pops to Walter Judnick in short right field as the 4th World Series game gets underway. And now coming to bat is Al Dark, right-hand hitter. The Brave shortstop having a World Series batting average of 167. He's had 2 out of 12. Outfield playing him about straight away. Kenny Keltner laying about 6 feet off the third baseline, in comparatively close. Steve Gromek throws, and he gets it in there for a called strike. He's a sidearm pitcher, and he pitches with somewhat of a stiff arm motion. Joe Gordon shading second, a little more than first, with Ed Robinson, the first baseman, laying about 10 feet off the line. Now the pitch. It's swung on and missed by Al Dark for strike 2 as he tried to hit to right field. Pitch was toward the outside of the plate. Dark was in position and tried to hit to right, something that he practiced on quite a bit back in spring training and learned to do quite effectively during the season. Now the 2-strike pitch on its way is swung on and fouled off behind the plate. Dark is still alive up there. The ball got away from Jimmy Hegan. Bill Southworth, Braves manager, coaching at third base, and Freddie Fitzsimmons is coaching at first base today. Billy has alternated Johnny Cooney and Freddie as first base coaches during the series. Gromek all set. In comes the pitch, and it's outside, gets away from Jimmy Hegan, low outside for a ball. No wild pitch, of course, there's nobody on base. Outfield playing Dark, as we told you, just about straight away. Kenny Keltner with the count 1 and 2 on Dark is backed up halfway at third. Gromek working fast, is into the windup. Round comes the arm, the pitch. Misses the outside corner for ball 2. 2-2 the count. Gromek blows on his pitching hand. Hides the ball behind his back. Jimmy Egan in the crouch back to the plate gives the sign to the right-hander. Good crowd out here today. And now, just as Gromek was ready to work, Dark stepped down to the batter's box. Earl Torgeson is on deck. And now Dark is back in hitting position. Gromek into the windup. Here's your pitch. It's swung on, popped up in the air off to the left of the plate. Hegan goes over, under it, and makes the catch right in the batter's circle of the visiting team for out number 2. Al Dark fouled out to Jim Hegan. Swung at what might have been a knuckler. Hit the ball on the handle of the bat and lifted a easy pop-up off to the left of the plate. With 2 down, here's Earl Torgeson, left-handed hitting first baseman, who's had 2 out of 6 for the Braves, batting .333. He's appeared in 2 games for Boston. First pitch to him is swung on and missed. Strike 1, he cut hard at curve. Kenny Keltner laying in close, almost on the edge of the infield grass, laying about 8 feet off the line. Lou Boudreau over close to second base. Joe Gordon shading first, just a little bit more than second. Robinson guarding the line. The pitch is in there for call strike 2. The fastball over the heart of the plate about knee high. Earl Torgeson evidently was expecting some other kind of a pitch and pulled away from the plate. Gromek ahead of the hitter. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the first inning. And the next pitch. Swung on. There's a drive to left center field. Doby racing for it. He cannot get it. It's by him, rolling to the wall. There goes Torgeson rounding first. Digs for second. He's got 2 easy. He stumbles, rounding second, and has to go back to second base. There's Robinson going down to second to take a throw to the tag, but it's not in time. Torgeson is back in at second base with a double. And to recap that play, Earl Torgeson drove to left center. Larry Doby raced over, couldn't get the ball. It was by him and rolled to the wall. Torgeson had 2 bases easy. As he neared second, he took a look at Billy Southworth to see if Billy was going to wave him on for 3. Billy evidently did, because Earl rounded second but stumbled over the bag. Lou Boudreau and Joe Gordon were out for relays. Nobody to cover second. And Eddie Robinson, the first baseman, after Torgeson had stumbled, went racing over to second, took the throw, but Torgeson got back to the bag in time. So it's a double for Torgeson with 2 outs in the top half of the first inning. And that for the Boston Braves is their 3rd double in the series. All the extra base hits in the series have been doubles. A total now of 6 extra base hits. in the series, 3 doubles by each team. You've got Bob Elliott, a right-hand hitter, up, 2 down, top of the first inning. The pitch, Elliott takes outside, ball 1. Torgerson laced that ball beautifully. A good line drive into left center. Doby, who's very fast to foot, still couldn't get to it despite a tremendous effort. Outfield for Elliott, step toward left. Here's your pitch. Elliott swings and pops it up into the air, off to the right of the plate. Jimmy Higgins getting under it. He's waiting now and makes the catch. So Elliott fouls out to Higgins, and the Braves fail to score. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Cleveland Indians, 1 left on for Boston. And at the end of the first half of the first inning, the score is 0-0. Men, if all razor blades lived up to their maker's claims, nobody would have a shaving problem. As many of you have learned to your sorrow, however, words sometimes are one thing, performance another. But when I tell you that Gillette Blue Blades are the easiest shaving and longest lasting on earth, I know your experience will prove every word is true. Gillette Blue Blades have the sharpest edges ever honed. They're so sharp, so smoothly finished, and so easy shaving that you get the best-looking shaves, the quickest and most refreshing ever. Also, Gillette Blue Blades are double-edged for double economy. Buy Gillette Blue Blades, 5 for a quarter, or get a handy 20-blade Gillette dispenser for 98 cents. Look sharp, feel sharp, be sharp. Use Gillette Blue Blades with the sharpest edges ever honed.
Number 34, Daniel Mitchell, the left fielder.
Ready for the last half of the first inning. Dale Mitchell, Larry Doby, and Lou Boudreau will be coming to bat for the Cleveland Indians, and Johnny Sain, with but 2 days rest, takes the hill to try to keep the Braves in the World Series running. Dale Mitchell, a left-hand hitter, hitting at 0.83 on the series, 1 out of 12. Johnny Sain delivers a pitch, and it's in there for a call strike. They call Johnny Sain the man with the curves. He's got plenty of them. Bob Elliott laying in close at third in the event of a bunt by Mitchell, who likes to drop him down that way once in a while. Here's your pitch. Mitchell swings and lines one right back through the middle, out of second to center for a base hit. Ball fielded out there by Mike McCormick. He bobbles it momentarily. Mitchell, who took a wide turn, started to go to second. Then the relay comes in to Stanky. He misses it. But in the meantime, Mitchell had returned to first base. And Al Dark finally got the ball. So Mitchell singles clean into center, right back through the middle. And that brings to the plate Larry Doby. Doby, who's had 4 out of 11, hitting at .364, currently the leading hitter in the series. Here's the pitch. Swung on. A ground ball is stopped beautifully by Torgerson. He picks it up, flips to Sain for an out at first, and a nice play. Going to second is Mitchell. And what a great play that was by Earl Torgerson, as Doby's vicious bounder to the right of the first baseman was knocked down. The applause for Boudreau. Torgerson knocked that ball down beautifully, recovered, but was down on the ground and flipped to Johnny Sain, who ran over and took the throw just ahead of Doby for the out at first. Lou Boudreau, right-hand hitter. Mitchell moved to second on the play. Sain delivers a pitch that swung on, hit down the first baseline by first down the right field line. Mitchell rounds third, comes in to score. Boudreau rounds first, digs for second. He's on his way to try for 3. Dark has the ball, fires into Elliott to tag. He's out at third base. And Lou Boudreau is arguing. Lou Boudreau is arguing with Bill Stewart. He was out at third, and he is bobbing and weaving at Bill. His head is shaking. Lou Boudreau arguing with Bill Stewart, and now Bill Summers comes over to break it up. And Bill McKechnie, who goes over to help Boudreau, is moved away by Bill Summers. And now Bill Summers tells Boudreau to leave. And now he goes over to get Bill McKechnie and tells him to move off Bill Stewart. And Lou Boudreau doubled into the right field corner, was out, trying to stretch it into a triple. Holmes to Dark to Elliott. Now here's Joe Gordon. Indians lead 1-0. And the pitch is low. Ball one. Joe Gordon. Bats him right-handed. Johnny Sane comes in with a pitch. Gordon swings and hits one out to short on one hop. Taken by Al Dark. Throws over to Torgeson, and Gordon is out at first. Bill Stewart. 1 run for the Cleveland Indians. 2 hits. No errors for the Braves. And nobody left on for Cleveland. In that inning, Mitchell singled to center, advanced to second when Doby's bid for a base hit was converted into a putout on a very nice play by Torgeson and Sane. And then Boudreau lined one inside the first baseline into right field. That was good for a double. He was out trying to stretch it into a triple. Holmes to Dark to Elliott. The play at third was very close, and incidentally, if you keep a scorecard at home, it's scored 9-6 to 5. Right fielder, the shortstop, to the third baseman. A run batted in for Boudreau. The play was very close at third, and Lou started arguing very viciously, you might say, vehemently with Bill Stewart. Of course, that's sort of a hangover from the first game of the World Series on that pickoff play in the 8th inning. Another close play, which you all recall, and which Stewart was the umpire that made the decision. Called the runner safe, and that turned out to be the winning run. Top of the second inning, Marv Rickard swings the first pitch, lines it to first baseman Eddie Robinson for the out. Rickard lines to Robinson on the first pitch for out number 1. He almost had himself an extra base hit there. Now Mike McCormick steps in. Mike bats him right-handed. One to nothing, favor of Cleveland, top of the second inning. Outfield around toward left. Steve Gromek, the right-hander, into the windup. Here's the pitch, and it's a curve that's outside for a ball. Bill Macy's on deck. Gromek getting set. Here's his pitch to McCormick. Mike swings and misses. Cut hard at a fastball, came over the outside corner about letter high. Mike McCormick, hitting in 300 in the series. He's had 3 out of 10. Finds the outfield, step toward left, infield shaded around toward third. Gromek throws. McCormick looks at a high inside pitch for ball 2, 2-1. Billy Southworth slaps his hands together, coaching there at third base. Gromek ready. And the 2-1 pitch. Swung on. There's a little fly ball hit into short left. Mitchell comes racing in, gets under it, makes the catch. And they're 2 down for the Boston Braves in the top of the second inning. Now you've got Phil Macy coming up. Right-hand hitter. The Braves catcher has not yet had a hit in the series. He's been at bat 4 times, and he's made an appearance in all 3 games. Been in there as a pinch runner. And, of course, caught yesterday's game. Macy, a 5'10", 175-pounder from Berwyn, Illinois. Looks at a pitch that's inside, very close to his chin. Ball 1. Gromek isn't the kind of pitcher that'll overpower you, but he's cute. He's got an assortment of breaking stuff. And you've got to be very careful when you're up there at the plate when Gromek is right. Now the right-hander delivers. Macy swings and lifts a high pop-up out into short left. Boudreau goes out. Mitchell comes in. Lou says he has it and takes it. The Boudreau makes the catch in short left, and the Braves are out in order in the top of the second. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. And at the end of an inning and a half, the score, Cleveland 1, Boston nothing.